Within the walls and halls of power, they sit so high, amassing riches to flaunt, while the people cry. On daisies and podiums they promised change, yet greed prevails. Their eyes and hearts focused on wealth, where justice fails. As our children got malnourished, they turned a blind eye to hunger's plea. Their eyes tightly closed, to drought and struggle they cannot see. As our taxes filled their pockets, their hearts turned cold. Yet we labor and suffer, in stories untold. They showcase lavish feasts while children starve, thriving on power, with their names to carve. They no longer listen to the streets, nor do they care. For the people's pain, they've none to spare. In the rich land of Kenya, where hope should rise, the Tumbocrats have stopped at nothing, to let their nation's spirit die. Every time they rise and speak, their promises grand, deceiving with claims of lifting the weary land. At the sound of their voices flow fiery words that feed the hope. But when they taste the power, they turn to greed. With no memory to reminisce, their pledges fade like morning dew, leaving their charms with dreams that won't come true. Whether roads unbuilt, whether jobs never made, it's no longer in the dark, their broken promises cast in shade. Yet as the next election draws near, their language is sweet, speaking again, and crowds still cheer. Their speech is promise after promise, though hearts know well that the future they sell is just but a hollow shell. These Tumbocrats will rise, then fall, because, on broken promises, they have built it all. The Tumbocracy of deals, where tenders reign high, no empathy, no care, forgetting the people's desperate cry. In their executively decorated offices, sinister schemes in play. Eventually, with apathy, corrupt engagements lead the way. Their promises no longer hold, their hearts are cold. Out to auction, selling the nation for greed and gold. Lifting your head, you see substandard roads and schools that fail. Yet looking at them, their pockets fattened, justice pale. Their priorities conspicuous, instead of service, they seek to steal. Hands ready, grabbing contracts with ruthless zeal. The people's trust, once strong and pure, is shattered by Tumbocrats who seek no cure. On long voting lines, elected to serve, yet they betray. Their focus shifted to how much they can sway. In this vast land, in Kenya's halls of power, so deep, they seize and reap what's not theirs, while the people weep. With a taste of fashion, they walk in suits, in corridors grand. When the coffers are empty, when hunger grips the struggling land, when farmers loudly cry at the drought's fierce hold. Yet ignored by leaders, whose hearts have grown cold. They have tasted the lollies of power, positions they chase. Like warthogs they've forgotten, local issues they won't embrace. Where the roads are broken, where the water's gone dry, their attention solely to power, looking away as people die. Their focus is now clear to all, minds on deals, eyes afar. Not anywhere else, even the pain beneath their star. Why are your villages forgotten? Why are your towns left bare? Why is there no mercy? Why don't they care? These Tumbocrats of Kenya have become blind to the needs, showing no mercy to the nation's wound that still bleeds. From Turkana to Kwale, where the rivers run deep, Tumbocratic politicians with tales of promises they keep. The feign of their smiles like the sunrise, but shadows in play. In light and dark, they dance, with the devil leading the way. Left and right, in the corridors of power, where whispers grow loud. Siding with the vile, never abandoning the corrupt or the shroud. Their treasure in contracts and riches, for which they batter their souls. Never remorseful nor considerate to the cries of the people for their roles. Lifting their glasses in cheers, toasting to the tycoons and greedy elite. Not minding the hunger of the masses, seeking to sever the feast. Their guts high, silver tongues spinning, twisting every fact. Energized the more to defend the guilty, mounting the support. Never demonize investors, they proudly and loudly proclaim. In the end, the stakes of their games bring the innocent shame. The education system crumbles slowly, the rivers of development run dry. But for their self-interest, they line their pockets while the public asks why. With a taste of charm, they chat development and mama sweet lies. An eerie deception, as the air fills with toxins and hope slowly dies. With each handshake a promise, each deal a well of greed. Pursuing the solitary of their gain, and the poor they mislead. Can we fire directly to the powers that be, those with the lust for acclaim? The altruistic hypocrisy, a cycle unbroken, a never-ending game. Yet now more than ever, the nation's pulse beats strong through the night. Yearning for justice to come, hoping the truth will take flight.
Kenya, a land of the brave, where hope was once undoubtedly bright. Tumbocrats conspire and abet, parading in their dazzling delight. In suits of gold they clad, as they strut and preen, when the faces of their voters fade into pain unseen. In gatherings of moguls, their laughter like thunder toasting in fine halls, where the people's weight of despair hangs heavy on the walls. In a smirk, they flaunt their vast wealth with each glittering spark, deaf to the cries of the hungry that dissolve into the dark. They wine and dine on the riches, sipping nectar worth their dime. But who cares for the streets' overflow, filled with the struggles of time, when they retreat to mansions so grand, hosting lavish affairs, where they not only ignore the stories but the fate of those left in despair, never passing an opportunity to flaunt their magnificence they boast with a grin. But can we neglect the lives that they've trampled within? The nation agonizes for each promise they break as dreams fade away, making the sorrows of many their cliché in whatever they say. While they tangle and dazzle in glamour, the truth slowly brews. It draws nigh a day of reckoning when the truth must shatter their ruse. Remind them again that the power they wield is a double-edged knife, holding it dearly that the people, though battered, still hunger for life. It's their choice to make, so let them enjoy their ostentatious display. But never lose sight that a storm is coming, ready to sweep them away. Is it not possible that in the heart of the struggle, a new voice will rise? And eventually, the Tumbocrats will reckon with justice, no longer in disguise.
In Africa's Silicon Savannah, where the sun rises bright on the plains, our self-serving politicians take flight, escaping the chains. Where is their dedication to duty and promise? They soar through the skies. Where is their allegiance when the heart of their nation withers in cries? Flying is just a norm to them, with passports like tickets to a life of escape. An opportunity to chase distant glories, where silence takes shape. Don't you see the people neglected, their hopes fade away? Don't you see them dying in the clouds, oblivious to grey? Why are schools in ruins? Why are hospitals bare? Yet you see them mingle with diplomats, unaware. Do they see the struggles at home, of the voices unheard? Why has their absence grown louder, like a chorus absurd? Every time, off to conferences, they'll proclaim with a cheer. Don't they see the issues at hand, that draw no whisper, no tear? Off they fly and fly, on the wings of their self-serving schemes, bearing no shame, as the dreams of the nation dissolve into dreams. Is each trip a trophy? Is it a badge of rank? Do they see the roads turn to dust? Do they see the rivers run blank? Don't the people remember? Don't they recall the ties that were sworn? Surely a day will come swiftly, when the tide will be torn. The time draws nigh, when the flight of the absent will ground to a halt. In no time the calls for their presence will shatter the vaults. Antennas of vigilance activated, in the heart of the struggle, where reckoning waits. Beware of their awaiting fate, as the faithful rise up to confront all their fates. Kenya, industrious and vibrant, where dreams once took flight. The Tumbocrats have lost their way, abandoning the principles of right. They swore on oath, but twist the laws freely, like vines in the sun. Laying the constitution aside, they chase shadows of power even with a gun. With a smirk and a whisper, they craft their own game, showing no regard for the voices that yearn for the same. Do you see democracy's promise? It's becoming fragile and fading light. They have gradually turned to sow seeds of discord, ignoring the true fight. They preach the pangs of law, but dance on the edge of the rule they disdain, disobeying the same rules, while the cries of the people echo loud with the pain. In luxurious boardrooms and chambers, they carve out their space, but no longer see, blind to the struggle etched deep in each face. For self-interest their pens ready to flick, to easily sign away rights. Yet in the end, the weight of their choices dim hope in the nights. Isn't the law a tool? Isn't it a mere plaything in hand? But in the service of self, the Tumbocrats forsake this great land. It's now evident that beneath all the power, a current runs deep. No more sleep, no more slumber, the heart of the nation awakens from sleep. The time of truth's here, the call for true justice will rise like the dawn. Freedom is beckoning, and the shackles of greed will be finally drawn. The masses awaken, for in unity's strength lies the promise of change. The populace risen, ready to reclaim what was lost in the range. So in lies, let them deceive, in apathy let them revel in flaws. No more turning back, for the spirit of Kenya will fight for its cause. For the love of the nation, a shift starts to hum. For the right cause, the echoes of truth weave a powerful drum. Even though they still dally, and linger in shadows of greed, their end draws near, and change will soon hit. No going back, the citizens' voice is in hand. No longer enslaved to the whims of their plans. The wait will end, at the ballot's fierce tempest of choice. The people will unite, to bravely reclaim their true voice. On a free ride once blinded by trust, now armed with the light. A time of eye-opening, to see through the fabric of hollowed might. Armored with knowledge, the citizens stand tall and strong. Time to begin anew, righting the long wrong. No pain, no gain, but no more suffering the weight of their lies. The ground a shifting sand, as hope starts to rise. It's now time to take heed, to leaders, the message is clear. The time is now, change or be swept in the tide of their fear. The wrath of the people is filling up, becoming fierce and unbound. As months turn into years, the mercy you seek will not be found. A new era is here, an era of truth, where your power must shift. Embrace the new dawn, let your conscience uplift. A new reality, the time for your reckoning is fast drawing near. From now henceforth, the voice of the masses is all you will hear. In this new dawn, change your course now, or prepare for the fall. The recompense awaits, for the pulse of a nation will answer your call.